Hey everyone! Today I'm gonna show you what I eat in a day. I woke up an hour ago and then I laid in bed watching a video about how to make soap. It actually didn't even teach you how to make it. It just showed you them making soap into various shapes, dentures, and raspberries. Anyways, my diet consists of lots of whole plant-based foods. I avoid certain foods because my skin reacts to processed sugar in particular, but I know other people have triggers like dairy and even oil. For me, it's really just the refined processed sugar that's an issue, but even things like maple syrup and like fruit juices can trigger my acne flare-ups. In addition, I care about getting in protein to help with collagen synthesis, and also just getting lots of antioxidants and vitamins and minerals, which ultimately end up in your cells and your skin cells. Research supports this, and so in addition to doing my skincare, which includes antioxidants, I like to get those in my diet. But I do just start my day with either tea or coffee. I feel really lethargic today, so I'm gonna make coffee now. I had to move things out of my kitchen, so now I have to bring everything back, so bear with me. So I'm making water, boiling it, and I'm just gonna use a French press today. Getting old coffee out of French press is not an easy task. You don't want to pour coffee grounds down the drain because they can clog the drain and create a lot of problems, so I use the strainer. But some of the grounds still fall out of it, but a lot less. Yeah, and coffee is a good antioxidant source. I mean, a lot of you know that I drink green tea a lot, but lately I've been drinking coffee just because I've been feeling so tired. I don't have to take a nap throughout the day when I drink coffee, I've noticed, and I just can't afford to take a nap today, so I usually do some moderate form of exercise while I am making this coffee. There's a lot of waiting involved. I'm a little sore today, so I've been dancing. It's too cringy to show on camera, but alright, you got the picture. After I do my exercise, I do my skincare. My neck is still irritated. Did I talk about this last time? I think so at one point. It keeps coming back on and off, and I've cut out everything that I thought could possibly be the trigger, and so now I'm totally at a loss for what's happening. I'm just going to try to use some anti-inflammatory stuff. Red ginseng extract. Calming serum. It's an anti-redness relieving serum. Just keeping it simple today, so now I'm just going to do my sunscreen and then be done. I'm going to use the Mineral Perfect Sunblock from Isntree. I'll do that on my neck, and then I'll use a Skin Aqua on my face. This one has some denatured alcohol in it, and I don't want that to flare up this rash anymore, so. Alright, let's go pour this coffee now. So unstable. It's too hot to drink, so I still have to wait for that to cool down. So anyway, that was my morning routine, which is absolutely not what this video is about, so I'm gonna cut out that entire portion. And I'll see you when I get hungry and I'll make something, or I'll eat fruit or something like that. I don't know, I just kind of play it by ear usually, depending on how I feel that day. I finished my coffee. The time is around 10:20 a.m. and I got hungry, so now I'm gonna make some oatmeal. I'm gonna make these steel cut oats. I actually prefer the old-fashioned rolled oats, but this is all I have right now. I just put some oats in a bowl, and then I add an adequate amount of water. Believe it or not, these cook in the microwave. So I put it on 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna add some frozen berries. I'm gonna put a lot of good things in there, including flaxseed meal, hemp seed hearts, and chia seeds, which are all a very good source of omega-3 fatty acids. I'll also put some oat milk in there. I'm gonna add a banana to it too. Everything I eat is low glycemic, and since I don't use sugar, sometimes I'll put erythritol in things that I like to have sweet, like oatmeal. I don't always use this, but this is basically a 0 glycemic index food. So no sugar, but it has a very similar taste to sugar. And it's better, in my opinion, than stevia. Stevia still tastes kind of like fake and like has a weird aftertaste. I'm just gonna add my frozen berries to there and put it in for another 1.5 minutes. Berries, of course, are an excellent source of antioxidants and vitamin C. And I like frozen because they don't go bad and they're cheaper and they taste exactly the same, if not better, and possibly have more nutrients because they were frozen right after being picked. I also drink water throughout the day. It's good to stay hydrated, folks, especially if you're drinking a lot of caffeine. Not necessarily for skincare, but just for like living. Very hot. Now I'll add some of this erythritol, chia seeds, ground flaxseed, 10 parts. Give that a good mix, and then I'll top it with banana and oat milk. Not the most beautiful thing ever, but it sure does taste like it. I like this because it's really filling. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna cook a little bit today. Like I'm gonna make some things in the oven. Like I'm gonna make sweet potatoes and tofu and tempeh. Might have a salad later, and then I'm gonna make dinner later. That'll be fun, I guess. Hey, sorry, that was really creepy. Hi, I'm roasting some food now, and I didn't show the whole thing because it's like, I don't want to bore you to tears, but I'm making some Japanese sweet potatoes, which are the best sweet potatoes, in my opinion. They're the sweetest. They kind of taste like vanilla cake, and they're really good when they cool down. So I'm gonna make those. I'm gonna make some tofu. This is my favorite tofu from Trader Joe's. It's the super firm variety. And then I'm also gonna make tempeh, like I said. So I'm just cutting that up. Have my oven preheated to 375. My least favorite part about making tofu is cutting open the packet because it's just not fun, and it's kind of hard, and it kind of hurts a little bit somehow. And I just don't like how there's just like a bunch of liquid that it's kind of, I just cut them into cubes. I pretty much do the same thing with the tempeh. I don't season anything, I just put it in there, and I put some salt on the tempeh and tofu later. But I set the oven timer for the potatoes at 1 hour and 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes less, depending on the size. And then I usually set a separate timer on my phone for the tempeh. And then when the tempeh is done, I set it again for the tofu. Tempeh cooks quicker than tofu because the tofu has a bunch of water that needs to be dried out, basically. And so the tofu ends up taking like 50 minutes usually. The tempeh only takes 25 to 30. The tempeh is done, and this is what it looks like. Delicious, I know. Just kidding. But I'm gonna sprinkle some salt on it and probably pick at it a little bit. Thanks. I used to find tempeh kind of bitter, but now I don't anymore. I don't know why. Cooking it can remove some of that bitterness. I actually end up picking out this food a lot and then eating a lot of it before I can like incorporate it into anything else. But I was feeling hungry again, so it's fine. That's all I have to say. Okay, I'm gonna stop now, wait for the tofu, then I might make a salad. I ended up eating more of the tempeh. This tofu is still going. I've added an extra 10 minutes to it, so it's probably gonna be in there for a total of 1 hour. But I was thinking I could start making a small salad. I have this mixed variety salad with a bunch of cruciferous vegetables: kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, green cabbage, and red cabbage. It's all nicely diced up, so it's less work, which is always a good thing. And put it in here. Start by putting some vinegar in there. I would usually use like balsamic vinegar, but I'm all out. So I have this rice vinegar, added a spray top to. It'll make sense why I did that later. So don't make fun of me or judge me prematurely. There's a method to my madness. So I put the vinegar on first to coat all of the vegetables. So I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in there. If you do oil first, then it kind of blocks the penetration. I'm gonna use olive oil today. I try to not overdo it with like processed oils like olive oil. This one is extra virgin olive oil, so it's less processed, but still it's just easy to get too much fat when you are eating oil. Olive oil is a great source of antioxidants, which isn't like always what you think of when you think olive oil, but it has lots of vitamin E, which is essential for our body. So I just put a little bit of that on there. And then I'm also gonna add avocado, another great source of healthy fat. Fats like olive oil, any kind of oils, and from plant sources like avocados can really help with our skin barrier integrity and the moisture of our skin. There are certain fatty acids like linoleic acid, in which there's a small amount in olive oil, but more so in things like evening primrose oil and canola oil. Those are essential fatty acids that our body can't make on their own. And so we get them from our diet, and they're actually the building blocks of ceramides. So for people who are like anti-oil, you might want to reconsider, but I'm going to put in a couple avocados. Avocados are also a good source of vitamin E. For the people in which oil is a trigger for their acne, it might be that you're just eating the wrong oil. So it's thought that oils rich in oleic acid like olive oil, and people who already have oily skin can make sebum more thick and more prone to like clogging of the skin. And so you might want to consider the type of oil that you're using and the ratio of linoleic to oleic acids. For me, I have dry skin, so any oil is probably good for me. Okay, I'm just gonna tofu's done. The sweet potatoes are done too, so I'm gonna turn off the oven. Anyway, I'm gonna spray a little more vinegar in there, and then add some pepper, and then a little bit of sea salt. I make my own sauerkraut, which is a great way to get probiotics. Researchers have linked probiotic and gut health to lots of conditions in the body and general overall health. One of the main benefits of eating the potatoes in the way that I do, allowing them to cool, because they produce something called resistant starches, which can feed the probiotics in your large intestine. So I'd say these are done fermenting, so I'm just gonna put both in the fridge now, and I'll show you the tofu. I use these baking pan liners so that I don't have to use any oil for baking. They're obviously reusable, so it's nice. Probably put a little bit of salt on these, like I did with the tempeh. I like how they're simple and plain and kind of crispy, and it's just like really satisfying. Anyway, you get it. I guess I'll see you for dinner or whatever else. I'll probably eat more. I'm actually such a bird when it comes to food. I just like peck at things all day long. So this is actually kind of hard to show you because I'm gonna have to turn the camera on like every 30 minutes because I will like just eat apples and oranges and bananas like all day. I'll do my best. I just unconsciously inhaled 2 pink lady apples. I think I do this a lot. Sometimes when I'm thinking about something, I'll pace around and problem solve in my head and eat apples and forget about it. Not today. I just ate 2. They're really good. Trader Joe's has the best apples, at least here where I live. I don't know about anywhere else. That's all I wanted to tell you. Hi, I started prepping dinner. I'm gonna make something in my good old-fashioned Instant Pot. It's gonna be a single pot meal. I cut up half an onion, Now I'm chopping up some garlic, which is my least favorite task. All of the little hacks for peeling garlic never work for me, like shaking it in a bowl. So I always just like use a knife and I just smash it. And then it gets kind of like sticky and just unpleasant. So I thought I'd also mention, I don't cook this much every day, but when I do cook, I cook a lot so that I don't have to cook for a while afterwards, you know, and then I just eat the same thing for a few days. I didn't even say what I was making. I'm gonna make some lentils. I'm gonna chop up some ginger as well. I probably will use this whole thing of ginger. Turn my Instant Pot on, saute. Sometimes I use water, other times I use coconut oil. I rarely use olive oil. Can't find my coconut oil, so I'm just gonna use olive oil. I used to think olive oil was bad to cook in because there's like this myth that it has a low smoke point, but the smoke point of extra virgin olive oil is actually like over 400 degrees, and so that's a myth. And then I'll get my seasonings, cumin, turmeric, chili powder, which I have in a bay leaves container, coriander. I'm gonna put a little cinnamon in too. All right, let's skip this olive oil a little bit. Start with the onions, garlic and ginger. Okay, now I add the spices before anything else. And now I'm gonna add my lentils. I wash these first though. Something I do sometimes is, okay, I know this is really weird, but I'm gonna put green beans in this. I might actually turn on the saute function again. I didn't put any salt in there. Good amount of salt, pepper. I'm gonna put the lentils in now. Fill it up with water. It never seems to be enough water. Like these lentils, I don't know if it's the type of lentils I'm using. I kind of forget the name. It starts with an M, but they're yellow lentils. They absorb water a lot. So this always ends up being like more like mashed potatoes. So I'm always like, oh, I should have added more water, but then I kind of like the consistency. So, but you can see I basically covered it completely in water. Now I'm gonna close the lid, turn it on to multigrain, and then seal the Instant Pot, and then dinner will be ready in like an hour. Thanks for coming to my cooking show. I'm hungry. I wasn't hungry when I started making this food at like 5 o'clock or whatever, and now it's almost 7. That looks a lot different than it usually looks. It's actually soupy today. I'm gonna make some bread to go with it. Whole wheat pita bread. My little hack is I just fold it in half and rip it in half. And then I put it in my toaster. This actually looks pretty good. Maybe it doesn't actually to anyone else. I think it looks good. Hot. That's good. Whatever lentils these are, they're like creamy. Okay, I'm gonna go eat this. I may get hungry again later tonight, in which case I'll show you. I might eat the potatoes, which are still sitting in the oven. I should put those in the fridge now. They're really good when they're cold. This is like my favorite meal ever. It also thickens up a little bit. Overnight, it thickens up even more. I just wanted to show you how much it thickened up at the top. See that? It's so interesting. Oops. I'm going to drink some oat milk now. It's the one I put in my oatmeal earlier. It's the best. It has like a semi-sweet taste to it and kind of a vanilla taste to it. It almost tastes like ice cream to me. It's made with just hydrolyzed oats in water. Okay, that doesn't look that good, but just wait. I think that's going to be the end of today. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye bye.